Hello and welcome to GT Sport Fates. If this is your first time here, welcome, and if it's not your first time here, then welcome back. You join me today as we're going to be doing the daily races and the new races this week, and we can see them here. We've got a 1 make, a GR4 and a GR1. And we don't often do the 1 makes, so we're going to give it a go. It's the daily race A in the Subaru Impreza at Tsukuba circuit. Now, if I pronounce that wrong, I do apologise. I really have no idea how to pronounce it, so we're going to go with that. So we're going to jump in now with the Subaru. Obviously, that's the car that we're allowed in this race. And as you can see, not got a lot of time. Got about a minute and a half, just over a minute and a half, to basically do a lap, learn the car, learn the track, and set a decent qualifying time. Let's face it, that isn't going to happen. We've got to learn what this car is capable of and what this track is capable of, as well as setting a fast time all in one lap. So one of them things is definitely not going to happen. Which one? I have no idea. Let's find out how we do. So we're coming around now. This is turn 4, I believe it is. Yeah, turn 4. And there's only 9 turns on this track. It's a very small track. It's about 1 mile or just over a mile long, might be 1.2 mile long, and that's about 2 kilometers. It's a real circuit. Obviously, it's a circuit in Japan, and it's actually, do you know what? I've not raced on this very much at all. I think the only time I've ever actually raced on it might have been when I first got the game and I was learning how to basically play the game. So I'm not racing it all that much, but from this one lap that I'm doing, I can actually tell it's not a bad little circuit. I think this is actually going to be quite a good little race, this. So anyway, we're going to go across the line. Let's see how we do. 109.8. Is that good? Absolutely no idea. We'll find out now. 8th. So it's not great, obviously. Could have been better, but it's also not the worst. We're not at the bottom. So as we've said, it's a 1 make race. Everybody will be in the Subaru Impreza. And that basically means that what you're going to see here is driver ability. Everyone's in the same car, so there's no advantage to a certain car to this track. It's basically down to driver ability. Everyone will have to show how good they are on this track in this car, and we're going to try and see how good we can be in this car on this track. Anyway, we're on our way now, coming up to turn 1, and turn 1 in any race is always the hardest because everyone just goes absolutely berserk, and what you don't want to do is get caught up battling much like this now, everyone kind of pushing away, and we're just going to sit back a little bit. We're going to lose a couple of positions actually. We didn't need to do that, but what we don't want to do is get a penalty straight away. That's something we definitely don't want to be doing. As someone drives through us, luckily he ghosted and he went straight through us. So yeah, not a great start as in clean. Everyone very bumpy, everyone kind of budging each other out the way, trying to get track positioning. We're going to try and do this as cleanly as we can. As another car that goes off and just comes back on, and we're going to try and go around the outside onto the long straight now and see if we can get a better run than our friend here in 7th. And we've passed him, and the guy in front taking a penalty, and we're going to try and go around him as well. We've got more speed here, but we're coming up to a very hard, long right-hander. And as you can see there, the guy in 5th going straight off the track, taking too much speed through that corner. How much speed can you take through that corner? That's something I don't know at this moment. We've only done 1 qualifying lap, and we've only done 1 lap of the race. So I'm hoping we can figure that out very quickly, because it looks like that long right-hander at the end of the track will be a place where people will look to overtake. Anyway, here we go now into what is actually turn 4, and someone going straight across the corner. He didn't get a penalty. I'm not sure how he didn't get a penalty. But fair enough, he had the audacity to try that, and he's pulled it off, so well done to him, I suppose. Coming down now to what is turn 8, the hairpin. I'm just getting completely sideways there, going off onto the grass, not even sure what happened there. I'll be honest with you, that was just poor driving, there's no excuse there. But we're going to try and now catch back up with the guy in 5th place as we come down the long straight, which will then bend. It's a long right-hand bend to the end of the lap. Again, getting so close to the track there, the track limits. If you just tap that grass, it's just going to pull you clean off, and that'll be it. So you really got to make sure you don't touch that. Anyway, going now, we're on lap 3. We're hunting down the guy in 5th. We're going to try and get to him and get that position, because he did get it by force, let's face it. In the last lap, he went straight across this corner that we're currently coming to. So we're going to try and catch up and get that position back. As he goes a little bit sideways, lose a bit of time. We actually get a decent exit there. So it's looking like we might be able to catch him if we can keep cleaning and not do anything silly ourselves. So this track, what can we say about the track? So we've now done 3 laps, and I did say in the qualifying that it seems like it's going to be a good race. And you know what? I actually do quite like this track. It's not very big, as we said, just over a mile long, and there's not that many turns. 9 turns, so not even loads of turns. But it actually feels like a really nice track. And it's strange that, because small tracks don't often feel very good to drive in, but this one actually kind of does. As the guy in 4th, now 5th, coming back on track, and we're going to go round the right hand side as we take more speed than him as he was coming back onto the track. Again, fell victim to the curb and it just pulled him clean back off. So we're going to give him room now as we come around, and we're going to see if we can just slot in behind the guy before. Getting a little bit of a nudge there from the guy behind, but not too much. It didn't cause any problems there. So here we go. We're going to try and take this nice and tight. Keep hitting that apex all the way around, and then look for the run out. There we go. The guy in 4th doing a good job as well. He's actually driving very well, I'll admit. And I've got to really figure out how I'm going to go for this move. I'm thinking maybe down here towards the hairpin would be a good idea. But as you can see, I just braking and then just completely losing it, hitting the grass and going sideways, and I've just lost so much momentum there. Very poor driving again from myself. I do apologise. You deserve to do something better than this. So we're going to get relegated now down to 7th as the guy who was behind us now passes us on the straight. Let's see what we can do here. We're going to go look to the outside, but then we're going to pull it back in, try and get the undercut on the guy in 6th. And as I'm turning, I'm fully locked to the right there, and he's come across and hit us. But I'm going to back it off. I'm going to give him that position back, because what I didn't want to do was basically take a position, and it almost looked like I was kind of nudging him out of the way. It wasn't. He obviously turned into us there, but I didn't want it to look bad, so I give that position back, and on the final lap we're going to try and get that position as we almost go into the back of him there, but just about miss. I'm going to go around now, turn number 5. Now this is a great little corner, but look at this, right? Going around, I do not touch that car whatsoever as the guy in white just goes bunny hopping. But I get a 1 second penalty for colliding with another car. And I mean, please go back and have a look at that corner. I went round and I'm convinced I did not touch that guy, but I get a 1 second penalty for it. And then stupid me here, I slowed down there and dropped a gear, preparing to serve the penalty, and then it didn't make me serve it because it happened late on in the lap. So I actually lost more time there just by doing that. But we're going to go around the outside anyway. It doesn't make much of a difference. We're going to cross the line in 5th, but obviously we're going to drop down there to 6th place because of the penalty, which I don't think we actually deserve. Please let me know, was it deserved? Was that penalty deserved? I don't think it was, but please let me know your thoughts on the matter. But anyway, there we go. 6th place. We've gone up 2 positions, and it's not bad. It's not a bad race. We're going to do it again, though. Absolutely, we're going to do it again, and we're going to see if we can get a better qualifying time in this time around. We've got a little bit more time to learn the track, as you can see there. And you'll also notice, as we went across the line, setting a new lap time of 1:07, getting a pole for qualifying. I did not expect that. Did not expect that whatsoever. But there we go. So it just shows what actually getting a decent amount of time on the track can do. I've gone up from starting in 8th to starting in 1st place. So that's great. That's what you want to be doing. Actually, you don't want to be going the other way. You want to be going that way. So yeah, starting in pole. Now, advantage starting in pole. you're in pole. You're in straight away. You're in the lead. Disadvantages of starting in pole, I suppose, would be the first corner, especially on this track. It's a hairpin straight away, and everybody will be wanting to fight for position. So I've got to get a good launch here off the line. We're going to go down to the hairpin. We're going to have to go defensive straight away, and we're going to see if we can just get around this first corner without anyone colliding into us. As the Spaniard there goes sliding, and we got another bunny hopping Subaru as well. Apparently Subarus are very good at doing bunny hops. It's a great thing. I don't know. Whoa, the German there flying off the track, far too much speed there, and he's going to drop down several positions because of that. And that's actually give us a little bit of breathing room, because I think he was in second. I could be wrong, I think he was in second. But that's given us a bit of breathing room there, and that's exactly what we want as we come down now to turn 8. And it's a very tight hairpin this, because if you just look at the map, you're turning out of the hairpin and then you're coming back in, which makes it even harder, I think, because your car's wanting to go one way and then you're forcing it to go another way. It's very difficult. Very easy to slide in that corner. Okay, around, this is technically turn 9. It's a very long right-hander onto the home straight. And you can see there, second place is, well, he's not very far away, but he's also not very close at this point. So I'm feeling at this point quite comfortable. And surprisingly still in first place. I know, I was as shocked as you. I really was. I was racing and I was like, I'm still in first. This is very unusual. But we're going to go for it because, well, we're here anyway. So let's go. Let's see what we can do. Going through turn 4 there, and I actually find going through that corner, if you can get the back end of your car to just kick out a little bit and you get a little bit of a slide, it actually helps you go around that corner. That's what I find anyway. Please let me know how you go around the corner. If you find traction better, I actually find a little bit of a slide kind of propels you a little bit through the corner, and it feels good as well. It's fun to do. So coming down the long straight now up until turn 9, the long right-hander, we're going to see now the gap just opened up a little bit more at the end of lap 2, and again feeling comfortable. I'm feeling this race, setting the quickest time at the minute, which you're definitely going to set a quicker time on your second lap than your first, but setting a decent time though, 107.2. Look at the gaps there between all the cars. It's almost completely equidistant between all the cars. It's very strange to see. Everyone's kind of balanced out. It doesn't happen very often. Anyway, here we go through the hairpin up to turn 4 again. Going to get a little bit of a slide as we go around the corner. Just catching the grass. So luckily that didn't turn into something more dramatic, because that very much could have simply go sideways. So a little bit slower on this lap, as you've just seen, going red. But what we're doing here now, we've got a good gap between first and second, and we're just going to see if we can just slow it down a little bit. We don't want to do anything stupid, especially in the hairpins, but we also don't want him to catch up too much. So we're not going to push too hard. We're going to keep a little bit in reserve, but we're also going to see if we can just get these corners as crisp as they possibly can be. Not at full speed, obviously, like I said, we're going to go a little bit slow because we don't want to do anything stupid. But if we can get these corners perfect, that will still help. Because the guy in second, he will be pushing. He'll want to be catching me. He'll want to pull that gap down in the time between us. So he'll be pushing a lot harder. And I'm just going to take a little bit easier. As you can see, almost half a second down on this lap now. And it's because of that. I'm not pushing it too much. Just trying to drive it nice and clean, get the lines, get the braking zones, get everything perfect, and let that do its job. So we're on lap 4 now, as we're coming up to, well, going through, technically this is turn 7, up to turn 8. Now the hairpin turn 8. I don't know really why that little kink in the map would be classed as turn 7, but that's what it is. It's classed as turn 7. And you take it round the hairpin onto the long straight yet again. Now you can see the second and third getting quite close to one another. That's actually good news for us. Now, we're already out in front by a bit of a distance, as you can see, but the guy in third now will be putting pressure on the guy in second, which means the guy in second will have to defend more than attack. But it looks like it's all gone pear-shaped for the guy in third. He's nowhere to be seen, and we all know where that means he's got. Visiting our old friend the barrier at the end of the big runoff. who luckily for us, we haven't met this race, but there's still one lap to go, so let's hope we don't meet him. Around turn number 4 now, they're really tight, and to be honest, I quite like that. Quite like that turn. And that was turn 3, sorry, not turn 4. This is turn 4 now. No, wait, I was right, yeah. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, ignore me. I'm just the guy racing, who knows. Anyway, now coming down to the hairpin for the last time, circling around onto the long straight, and we're going to now see the gap. And the gap, it's not closing for him. I don't think he's going to be able to catch us unless something drastic happens. So we're going to go on the chase cam. We're going to see what we're going to go around this corner at speed wise, and it's going to be around the 70 mile an hour mark, I think. Yes, it's 74. That's not a bad speed around there. And nice and tidy as we go around, and we're going to take that as a victory. That's right, coming home in first. Very unusual, I know. Like I said before, I'm as shocked as you guys, but I like it. Coming home in first. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching the race, and we will see you all next time for some more.